So hi guys, welcome to Paris. And this is where I'll be bringing the next few episodes of Introspection with Adeyinka to you. This month we focus on productivity, and I'll be sharing a few things that I think will be very critical to how to hack our productivity and do much better with our time, which I think is one of those things we all struggle with. Struggle with it too, and hopefully we can share a few thoughts together. See you guys. My bro,
yes.
Joel,
yes.
having a great time of impact,
wow.
fellowshipping together. We're really having a good time. Now we're about to take a tour of the Eiffel Tower, climbing up. Guys, it's been tough climbing up, but we made it up. Yeah. My legs nearly gave up on me, man, but we made it.
We made it.
We made it. Right, we're now on the first floor of the Eiffel Tower, and we will be having a conversation with you shortly. But meantime, have a view of some of Paris's beautiful skyline. So in this episode, we have this conversation about productivity, and I present to you what I call the paradox of productivity. Here's the problem of our time. We have a lot of gadgets that are designed to actually improve productivity or help us do work more effectively, as we call them, but the stats don't seem to match. So studies, for instance, began to show that the productivity level of an average adult between the 70s and now has actually dwindled with the increase in the number of smartphones and technology that seem to be around us. And this speaks to two things, ladies and gentlemen. First, it speaks to the effective time we spend at work. How much do we really spend, how much time do we really spend on doing the things we're meant to be doing at work? Averagely, we say we spend 10 hours at work, but the effective number of hours we spend doing the work we're actually meant to be doing seems to be far less than that. The second thing, of course, is that we're building a habitual culture of distracted minds. And these two trends seem to be prevalent in our time, and we're going to explore this further shortly. So how do we handle this paradox? We can begin the conversation by looking at the productivity value chain, which I believe begins with the essence of preparation. Folks, there are two things that you must observe here, that there will always be activities that make you gain more energy or those that make you lose energy. So I call them gainers and drainers. But also more significantly, however, is that every single morning, the choices we make with how we start our day could be very significant to the level of productivity we attain that day. So for instance, studies are beginning to show us that those who begin their day by getting swamped in the world of social media and on their phones tend to have lesser productivity in their day. We're not necessarily saying that this happens to everyone who engages in social media early in the morning, but it speaks to one that the routines we build in the mornings have a huge significance to how productive we'll be for the rest of the day. And also, guys, can I say this, that if you look at the economics of productivity, we have only very limited resources to spend. When you sleep and wake up, you've recharged your mental capacity, you've recharged your mind, you've refreshed your soul, and you don't want to start by deploying those very limited resources into activities that don't benefit you. So we rewind this to put it in this way. Invest your energy in gainers and not in drainers. Invest your energy in gainers and not in drainers. So how do you prepare for the day? Do you start with social media? Do you start with an exercise? Do you start by drinking a glass of water? What is really the routine that you're building around your day that helps you gain more energy and put you in the right frame of mind for what you want to do for the rest of the day? So in conclusion for this episode of Introspection with Adeyinka is where we get to reflect on how the things I mentioned a while ago, for example, the drainers and the gainers in your lives, and how to deploy your limited resources effectively, determine the productivity you have for the day. And speaking to the concept of preparation, I therefore pose this to you. Have you taken time to reflect in identifying the drainers and the gainers you have in your space? Primarily activities you engage in the morning that help you approach the day with optimism. In fact, put it this way, they are like activities that you invest your energy into or time into and leave you feeling more refreshed, make you feeling more that you've gained more stuff, optimism, positivity, insight that you can channel to power you through for the rest of the day. Or conversely, you could have the drainers, which are primarily activities you involve yourself in early in the morning and set your mood in the downward spiral, which is not good for the rest of the day. And you can immediately begin to reflect on which activities you engage yourself in on a daily basis that encourage this. And this takes me to the second reflective point, which I leave with you, ladies and gentlemen, and that's how do we build routines around the gainers and find clever ways of eliminating the drainers. Remember, routines is everything. And the moment you begin to master what you do early in the morning, the things you deploy your resources into that set the tone for the rest of the day, it begins to matter a lot. And remember what I said earlier, invest your greatest amount of resources in activities that give you the greatest amount of reward, which are the gainers. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where I leave you today on this episode of Introspection. I really hope that you're able to take these two reflective questions, get honest with yourself, have a study of how your week has been, and look at how you can begin to make amends into your early morning routine, because as research has shown, they have a huge impact on how productive the rest of the day will be. So I'll see you guys some other time from the heights of Paris, and this is from me to you. Have a fantastic rest of the week.